Black Panther is one of the greatest movies of all time. And I don't give a fuck what nobody said. That movie was deep as shit.
I've read numbers that say that Black Panther is on track right now in like 9 days to cross $500 million.
For me, I've been waiting for this movie for over 25 years to happen. But I don't think it could have happened in any other way. It had to be you all. It had to be this cast. And it's breaking box office records everywhere.
It was packed up in there. It was like, I think like 300 people in there.
Like, people were fighting, like, and then finally the people were just like, yo, the movie's starting in like 2 minutes. Just give us your ticket and go. Just give us your ticket and go. And the guys, it was just a bum rush after that. It was a stampede. People were just packing in, running. Like, I'm almost positive a lady paid for like popcorn or soda and didn't even pick it up because they were taking too long. She just went. And like, I heard, like, all I heard was, "Miss your popcorn." Like, yo, it was nuts. And this was night 2. This wasn't the day it released. This was the second night. Like, I'm afraid to know what that first night was like if this was day 2. Like, that's insane.
And I don't think anybody expected Black Panther to be as big as it is. It's going to continue taking in a ton of money.
There was a lot of people that was dressed up, not only as like kings, but as like militant, like African, like Black Panthers, like QEP Newton. It was funny, but at the same time, I enjoyed it.
I did see one person dressed like that. The one person dressed like someone in the movie from the country. It was actually pretty interesting how they did put that together.
It was uplifting. It was for the culture. It was like a celebration towards us as a whole.
Strong, powerful Black women.
It was exciting. Like, seeing the actors perform like they did was perfect. Like, the story was well put together. Everything was like, especially the villain. The villain had some great moments. In fact, his storyline, his origin story, the way it was built up to the point, it just made it even more perfect, you know? Especially like in the beginning of the movie, you didn't think that would connect to his, character at first, but then it just, piled up on that. It felt like he had the most intense, character. Everything was just intense every time he was on set. Every time he walked on the scene, you just knew something was gonna happen. You just knew he was gonna take control and do something. He was very impactful in the movie. That probably is my favorite character.
My favorite character was Eric Killmonger because he was a rebel. He wanted revenge. To me, he was basically like any other African American who was tired of the system, especially what's going on with the world today, whether it's police brutality, racism. He wanted something to be changed. He wanted some change in the world.
A lot of people want revenge. It's a common thing, really. We've seen it before in the news. We've seen people do things that you wouldn't see other people do. Like, revenge is a common thing. It's a horrible thing, but it's also something where, people feel wronged and they feel like they need to right themselves by doing it.
Even though Blade was like our first African American movie, we really didn't understand it. But years later, we finally got a character in a movie we all can embrace.
It's inspirational. You're going to inspire a lot of people, a lot of African Americans to, keep trying no matter what and never give up because someone tells you that that's not going to be you in a movie. That's why it's important, because it gives you that hope that you can be in that type of movie. Or that you can do more with other movies, maybe a Black Spider-Man or something. We already got Miles Morales, but maybe Peter Parker can be African American, something like that,
Like, you look at movies like the new Star Wars versus like the old stuff. just even the, you know, the actors and everything is just, it's a wider, you know, variety of like nations and stuff involved.
A lot of black actors and actresses in the past did not get the credit that they deserve, and I feel that now that there has been a change and in the industry, I feel like we will have a bigger opportunity as the years to come.
I believe the impact on the media really, it's whatever, you know, whoever's viewing it wants to think, you know. However, it's clear that we live in a completely different time, and, you know, I believe that, you know, it changed for the better.
You know, I mean, Hollywood might have been afraid of, you know, reactions, because a lot of people will try to boycott something. I know in Star Wars, John Boyega, you know, he got a boycott because he was in the movie, you know, because they didn't want an African-American stormtrooper. You know, there was this, I think it's just, there was fear. You know, there was panic because they were afraid that, you know, something could go wrong and people wouldn't want to see this movie. But once it was revealed that it could work, I think that's when it benefited.
Do you really think that that will bring in like stronger opportunities for people of color?
No. Yeah. Do you want to know why? Or oh, of course. I don't believe that Black Panther individually will bring forth, you know, more opportunities for people of color. I believe that the only way for people of color to get said opportunities is by going out and going to go get it. You know, this movie, it was nice, but it's not, you know what I'm saying, it's not going to make you, you know, a cinematographer or actor. It's not going to make you anything. You got to actually put in the work for it. So.
I think it will. Because it will.
Maybe, if they, you know, a lot of that, you know, at the end of the day is about, you know, the work you put in from anybody. Like if I wanted to make a movie with you, I don't know if the opportunity would matter based on our skin color, but maybe, you know, the amount of effort we put in.
I say yeah and no. Like I was more towards yeah, but I was more towards no because white people always had to get away, so it's like why change now? And then Trump is our president, so I'm not even convinced, but yeah, it's a huge start for us.
Yeah, I mean, there's a movement in everything. For African Americans, there's a huge movement. You know, it's not just Black Panther, but there's other movies as well. I mean, Creed can be considered one because you got someone who you really never thought would happen. You never thought that there would be a black, you know, boxer taking Rocky's place or something like that. It's an interesting scenario, really, because he was more successful than people thought. And going forward, I think that's going to make big waves, too, when they make sequels. It's going to bring more gateways in for more African Americans to come in and make those type of movies. Especially the director that made those movies, you know. He directed Creed and Black Panther. So. Yeah, I think that's going to be like a huge gateway.
Everybody just pray for me. Just pray for me, yeah. Everybody just pray for me. Just pray for me, everybody just pray for me. Just pray for me, yeah.